Thank you for joining the XROM podcast. Do kindly subscribe, support, and share. So today I have with us Laurent Chretien, who is the Director General for Laval Virtual. And Laval Virtual happens to be the longest running AR/VR festival event in the world. This year's edition, which happened to be the 22nd edition, had to be moved onto the virtual platform due to COVID 19. But still, it was a phenomenal success, and 11,000 people attended the virtual event. Is this the future of live event? I wish you enjoyed this conversation.
You've done a wonderful job of pulling off Laval Virtual at the end moment, and it's the news is spread all over the world that somewhere around 11,000 odd people registered for the event. 6,000 avatars were created, and that's a extremely awesome feat. And somehow the event industry, which I think is going to get the most impacted, at least the physical one, has hope in a format like this. So for the people, for my listeners who don't know about Laval Virtual, who don't know about you, can you give me a brief on you and the Laval Virtual?
Yes, Eddie, of course. So Laval Virtual is a non-profit organization created 22 years ago. So we were the first event in the world dealing with virtual reality and augmented reality for 22 years, you know.
Wow.
Myself, I arrived in Laval Virtual in 2013. At this stage, there was on the physical event, there was 80 exhibitors and around 2,500 people coming. And last year, so 7 years later or 6 years later, last year we had more than 300 exhibitors and more than 20,000 visitors. And so this makes that Laval Virtual is the most important event for virtual reality in the world. And why this? Because we have a very strong community. The people are used to come to Laval to meet other people in the community of VR and AR, students, researchers, startups, production studios, and all the companies that are now big companies and working with virtual reality. So everybody is coming there, and the community has had a very good response when we have decided, because of COVID-19, to convert Laval Virtual physical event in Laval virtual event. The community was with us, and when we have started to choose the platform on which we had to work, we wanted to work. We have received the help of more than 60 people everywhere to benchmark 40 different platforms. And finally, we have chosen Virbela, thanks to them, very quickly, in less than 1 week, a little bit more than 1 week. And then we have started to work and to create this event in less than 1 month. So it was a real performance of the team.
Lovely. How awesome is that? And I guess rightfully said that, I mean, you've been doing it for such a long time, 22 years, you building a community. So that, I think, is the most important thing. I'm sure just before the COVID-19, when the COVID-19 happened, from physical to moving on to the virtual platform, it must have been a little, there must have been a lot of anxiety, right? How could you pull it off? But cheers to your team for pulling up such a wonderful event in such a short period. And yes, like you said, I mean, because you are building the community now, those many numbers of people attended that event. Now tell me, from moving to the physical event to the virtual event, how difficult or easy was it to convince your partners, your sponsors? Because you had your community, the people would definitely come. There was no problem over there. But to convince the sponsors or partners, how difficult was that, and who were the main sponsors?
So it was really difficult because when we decided to move to virtualization, it was around the 10 of March. Then, as I was saying, we were not sure yet to be able to do it. So it's only around the 2022 of March that we were sure that we can do the event. Okay, so we have obviously contacted all our partners, all our sponsors, and all our exhibitors to see how to work together on this edition. And very quickly, well, we have decided to follow on a free model for our exhibitors. If they wanted to network, to use our virtual meeting rooms and so on, we decided to do it for free because it's also we know that the exhibitors also are suffering of the situation, and let's say it was a issue of solidarity. In any case, we had sponsors who follow us. For example, Microsoft was the main sponsors who followed us. We had also AMD who followed us, and some others that were very interesting to experiment what can be the future of events. Because, as you said, the full ecosystem of event organizers will be very. We'll have a lot of trouble with what happened, and obviously we have to study how this kind of virtual event can augment physical event, and how they can bring how the virtual part of an event can bring more audience, or to be able to find new targets that we. For example, I will give you one example. On the physical event in Laval Virtual, we are not very we are not very open to the students. Why? Because if we open to too much students, the exhibitors will not make any more business. They will just receive curriculum vitae and they will not make business. So and this is something for me which is a pity, because students are very important. They are the professional of the future. So we have to open the doors to the students, and the virtualization can open this door to them, without disturbing the business of our exhibitors.
So tell me, was this year profitable? As in, how did you have to reinvent? What went behind thinking about making this model profitable? Because if it is profitable, then there's all of these physical events will understand what an opportunity exists in taking your event virtually. Like for example, I mean, at this point in time, recently everybody is talking about how Fortnite, I mean, Travis Scott did the concert on Fortnite, and there was some 12 million people who attended the concert. But obviously, I mean, Epic gave a lot of freebies and things like that to attract those many people, coming onto the platform. So what were those ideas or ways you thought about where you could monetize the platform? Because in all fairness, these events, which is so very important to build a community, develop a community, it needs to be profitable, for people like you to create that thing, gather so many people. It needs to be profitable, so there are more such event happens. So was it a profitable event?
It's a very good question. In fact, I have to tell you several things about the profitability. As we are a non-profit organization, we are not focused on the profitability. However, in the last few years, our physical event is profitable, even if in the profitability I include the grant that the loans that the grant that the local governments are giving to us.
Right.
It's more or less 1/3 of our budget. So it's a lot of money. And without this, we cannot exist.
Right.
And it's the same for many events. In fact, it's very difficult to be directly and alone profitable. Second thing, as I was saying, we have decided in a very short time to virtualize Laval Virtual. So we were not focused on the profitability, but on the visibility. and the communication that we could do on the event. Okay, so my answer to your question is: was it profitable? My answer is no. Why? Because we didn't have enough time to build the business model, but now we know how to do it and how to be profitable. So we are already working to be profitable, for example, for VR Days, because maybe you know VR Days in
Right,
Amsterdam
Benjamin.
is a cooperative work between Laval Virtual and VR Days. So we are working very strongly with them, and we are working with Benjamin David to virtualize parts of the event, to augment the physical event, and to give more profitability to the event. If you have to virtualize completely your event, it could be profitable, but you need a little bit of time to convince your sponsor, to convince your attendees to pay, and so on. You have to make the demonstration that your event will be as efficient as the real one. You know.
Right.
So profitability is possible, but you need more than 1 month's time to build this profitability. You need, in fact, to manage your event as if it was a real event. So you need maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months according to the size of the event.
Right. So yes, again, I mean, I must say that, I mean, it's extremely commendable that you said 20th March, you decided to pull the event off rather than physically, take it onto a virtual platform. And in a month's time, to have been able to pull off such a fantastic event is extremely commendable. And you said, I mean, about, yes, I mean, this event needs supports by governments or other institutes and even sponsors. They need to come in, because AR VR MR is growing. It's a technology, I think, in another couple of years will be extremely relevant, and maybe it could get ubiquitous, in maybe the coming years, because the medium or traditional structures are collapsing, and AR VR could just be that medium which could take us into the coming future. So can you talk a little bit more about the event itself? I mean, how many speakers were there? How many people attended? What were the learnings that you took from the event? So what would you do and what would you not do? Things like that.
With pleasure. In fact, we when we choose our platform, we decided to not to have the exhibition part, because the exhibition part is really complicated to do right now in virtual reality. Even if we are studying possibilities to do it, but the exhibition part is really complicated. So we maintain only, or only, I don't know if it is the good word, but we maintain conferences, all our conferences. We had more than 153 speakers during these 3 days. So it was a job, a terrific job and wonderful job, because you have to put moderator. You have to teach moderator how to use the device, how to use the Laval Virtual World. You have to teach all the speakers how to move, how to speak, how to use how to make the projection of the slide of the movies and so on. There was a lot of beautiful screen beside, but you have to manage these screens.
Right.
You have to manage also the attendees in the room, because in the auditorium, because you can push them to sit. You can force them to sit. You can mute, of course, if there is too much noise. You can mute the people. How you manage the chat where there is all the questions. Well, there is many things to do. So conferences was a very wonderful success, where we have six auditorium at the same time.
Okay.
So there was 6 conferences at the same time. In each place there was a virtual camera streaming on YouTube all what was happening inside, and you can find all our conferences on YouTube, in our channel YouTube right now. and that's it for the conferences. It was a wonderful experience. Then we decided to maintain our ceremony of awards. Each year we are giving awards to some of the best solution or some of the best applications in VR/AR around the world, and this year we decided to maintain this ceremony, and it has been an amazing moment, really. Benjamin, our friend from VR Days, was the actor animator on the scene, on stage, and there was so the ceremony lasted maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and there was a very cool mood. There was a lot of applause. Well, it was really, really nice to see all these people. And when we made the final photo on stage with all people from the Laval Virtual team, from the nominees to the awards, so it was a great moment.
Lovely.
Then we maintained all what is business meeting, all what is networking.
Right.
We have joined our mobile application, traditional mobile application for the event, done by Swapcard, with our meeting places. So you can take meeting from the application directly in the virtual world. And we had really a lot. I think it's more than 3,000 meetings inside of the world. So people was booking a meeting room and making their business meeting inside, like you are doing in business meeting room on a normal event, So this then. There is something very special in Laval Virtual. It's that we have a very good. We love conviviality. We love people, and we spend a lot of time with them during all the events, and we are very often going to the bars to take drinks with them. There are some parties that we are organizing in physical event, and we said we want to find the same thing in the virtual world, and we did 3 parties each night at 8:00 in Europe time. We started to have to dance on the we have a soccer playground, so we started to dance together. There was a DJ with video. We make cocktails, virtual cocktails of alcohols, and then 1 hour later there was how do you say this, fireworks. That's it, fireworks.
Right.
Fireworks. When the virtual night was coming, there was virtual fireworks on the beach, and we started the full moon party.
How cool is that? I mean, it's so very exciting that slowly and steadily the lines of what is physically real and what is virtual is getting blurred. And I think it's another few decades where this will be pushed further, and I think we will start living in virtual worlds more, because it'll give us the freedom to do what we want, who we want to be, and things like that. So yes, I think the numbers are super awesome. You said 153 speakers. That's brilliant. You said 33,000 meetings. How cool is that? Do you have numbers if those business meetings actually transferred into actual businesses or something like that? If you have, you can share that later. And so what was the learning curve from an event like this, which you managed to pull off in just 1 month? Would you look at it as the future of the event industry? Would you try and pull off the next one virtually? Because the next one, possibly, maybe if you're doing next year, instead of 11,000, or physical auditorium capacity is maybe around 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. But with virtually, maybe you can have 50,000 people, right? Or maybe a lakh, 10 lakh, who knows? I mean, if Fortnite, I mean, a pick and pull off a virtual event and have 12 million people, why can't an event with virtual reality have those kind of numbers? Because more and more people around the world are understanding the importance of virtual reality. Though somehow I feel COVID-19, which could have been one of the biggest opportunity for virtual reality, somehow I feel that we have passed that away. Because if you see, virtual reality is something which is brilliant when it comes to remote work, remote meeting, remote healthcare, remote education, enterprise simulation, remote multiplayer gaming, so on and so forth. It can do so many things, but somehow this natural disaster of COVID-19, which I thought would push the virtual reality or augmented reality, at least the industry forward, I somehow feel that it has missed the boat. I could be completely wrong. So, what are your views on that? Will COVID-19 drive the industry forward of virtual reality? Or do you see that still we have problem or drawbacks because of the hardware, because of the awareness about these technologies, and things like that? What are your views?
We have had in total 6,600 avatars created in Laval Virtual World during this event. On these 6,600 avatars, we had on the first day 4,500 unique visitors and 3,500 on the second day and the third day. So it means that people, the more interested one, were coming back every day during the 3 days, and they have started to live serendipity. Like in the real life, like in real event, they meet a lot of people and they exchange a lot of people. And there was also something very interesting, the fact that there was a kind of disinhibition, because everybody was at the same level, black, white, fat, thin, girl, boy, chief, not chief, whatever. And this allows a more authentic contact,
Right.
So to answer to your question, do this will transform durably the event economy? I suspect yes. It will not replace completely the physical event. Of course, there will be always physical event, and I hope there will be always, because I believe in the physical meeting. But it will transform maybe the way you design your events, and you will add virtual reality as additional functions on your events. So then, to your question of what I think about COVID-19 and will it accelerate the business of virtual reality in general? I think yes. I think that, like in many other sectors of activity, the most fragile company will die, and there are who are dying. But at the contrary, it will give a new, really a new perspective to the uses of virtual reality. I have to specify something. Is that Laval Virtual World was available at the same time on your desktop of your computer, whatever the computer, and at the same time you can use it with a headset.
Right.
And there was maybe 5% of the people, 5% on this 6,600 avatar who were in a headset, and it was so everybody has not already the equipment, so we have to make something which was we had to make something which was accessible to
Right.
to a lot of people, um, and this could be the way in which virtual reality will enter inside of our in our day-to-day business, on our day-to-day life. For example, with our team, of course, now we are doing our weekly point, our management meeting. We are doing this in Laval Virtual World directly. And actually, I am in Laval Virtual World, and if somebody is coming to see me, I can answer to him, and that's it. And it's a kind of second office, So I think we are entering progressively in this in what you were saying. I mean, we will mix the reality and the virtuality, and both will become our realities.
How do you see COVID-19 impacting the virtual reality business? Because there was this one sector which was looking very positive, location-based virtual reality entertainment centers, right? Everybody was talking about it. People who are Hologate, and there's so many other startups who are doing pretty decently well. But with COVID-19 and social distancing being maybe the major conversation going forward, I somehow see LBVRE might get affected, at least for the maybe at least the next 2 quarter, or maybe more. I don't really know, till the time we don't have like a therapeutic cure or maybe a vaccine for this thing. Which industries, according to you see will, or which sectors will thrive?
Yeah.
And which sector?
Well, you have one obvious and very, very important driver is the training. Training was before COVID or already a sector of activity driving a lot of VR AR application. Now with COVID, it's even more. And I have a lot of people asking me after Laval Virtual World, they are asking me how they can do to create virtual training inside of Laval Virtual World. We had one professor from Taiwan who hacked Laval Virtual World and did a lesson to maybe, I don't know, maybe 20-25 students inside of during Laval Virtual World in our rooms.
Oh.
Yeah, so there is I think that for education, for example, there is a big, huge market in front of us. Health is one of the biggest sector for virtual reality,
right.
And we just have launched during Laval Virtual World a free PDF book of more than 120 pages.
Right.
So it's a very big book.
Right.
Completely free on all the uses of VR AR.
Wow.
In healthcare.
Nice.
So this is something that you can share with your community. It's free. You can take it and do it for free. And the other subject that I wanted to say is that virtual reality has also some dangers, and we are very conscious of that in Laval Virtual, and we are of course recommending and trying to do our best so that companies that are exhibiting or that are speaking in our conference are producing content, producing hardware for the goodness of humanity, not against humanity.
Right.
Probably tourism and museum and cultural heritage and all this stuff will beneficiate from the COVID crisis, because all museums are closed, and it's a pity for the spreading of the culture. And I think that and I hope that each museum in the world is right now studying how to convert their collections in virtual collections, or how to make virtual exhibition, temporary exhibition, of artworks. We had yes, I forget one point. We had hard place during Laval Virtual World, because for 3 years already we are organizing what we call Recto Verso. Recto Verso is a art festival for VR and AR, and this year we had 15 artists who should be exhibited during Laval Virtual, and Judith, our manager of the art department in Laval Virtual, recreated the full scenography of the exhibition with of course with the help of the artist, and the result is wonderful. You can go on the Recto Verso website, and you will see how it has been done. It's a kind of how to say, kind of inception. It means that you are experimenting VR artworks inside of VR. So it's quite strange and interesting.
Lovely. So do share the website link. Obviously, I mean, I'll share the link so that my listeners can actually go to the link and check that out.
I will share you all this.
Yeah, that'd be good. So you were mentioning Benjamin Dewitt, who kind of helped you from VR days, and his event is also obviously very relevant even when it comes to immersive tech in Europe, besides Laval Virtual, right? So I've been doing the same thing over here. So Immersion VR Fest was something which I put together in 2019. We had around 600 odd people coming for the event. There's some 40 odd speakers I managed to get. But right now, looks like, I mean, maybe I was supposed to hold the event this year, and then now it looks like maybe they'll have to push it to next year, or maybe look at the option of doing it virtually. So tell me, in this world at this point of time, because of COVID-19, does the collaboration, the need to collaborate come in the forefront? And do you see that there's a lack of a global system which needs to come together and push drive the ecosystem, so everybody from each and every corner of the world gets to know the importance of virtual reality? What are your thoughts on something like that, on building a collaborative model?
Yes, we as I was saying, we are a non-profit organization, and we are helping the communities for many years. So of course that if we can help also your community in India and what you are doing, it will be with pleasure, and do not hesitate to share your willing with me, and we will find a way to do it. The evangelization of people, of companies to use virtual reality in professional processes, industrial processes, in marketing processes, in training processes, in maintenance processes, in whatever, in prototyping processes, designing processes, and so on. All this needs, of course, a lot of evangelization, so that the good person in the good company are aware of what you can do with those technologies. And this is our roles, building communities to share this, and to accelerate the ability of companies to use virtual reality and augmented reality. And the way to do it is on our part, we are providing a lot of survey, a lot of how do you say, technical watch, technological watch, and the uses of this of those technologies. Also, we are providing we are creating more than 10 thematic newsletter every week. That we are spreading for free. We are making some studies. We have a business intelligence department who is providing services to companies to help them to introduce those technologies inside of their processes. That's it.
So tell me, COVID-19, I mean, media is painting an extremely grim picture, right? I mean, so I personally am extremely optimistic and hopeful, because I believe that people, I mean, humans are resilient, So I think I think we'll come out of this. I mean, so what what future do you see for virtual reality, and how long do you think it will take for things coming back to normal? And what is besides that, what comes next for you, and what comes next for Laval Virtual?
Yeah. Okay. So we are surveying technological subject, but we are also surveying the market, the figures of the market, and
Right.
The projection that many specialists are sharing is that in 2020 the global market of VR AR will be around $100 billion global market. It means for hardware, software, applications, content creation, and so on. And the forecast for 2025 is 5 times this, and maybe more than 5 times, because of the evangelization, because also of the cross-fertilization with other technologies, with artificial intelligence, with blockchain, with drones, with robotics, and so on. If we speak about not VR specifically and only VR, or at least what we call now VR, because VR is not the headset. VR is a 3D real-time interaction, immersion. So all this you can have in other way than with a headset. When you start to see how haptics will increase, probably BCI, brain-computer interface, probably all when you look at what you can do already with sound. Now is the smelling who is under progress. So all this will increase the experience of people in virtual worlds. And for Laval Virtual, I think that we still have a lot of progress to do, a lot of new technologies to promote, and so many very talentful people to help to create their business and to find solutions to their problems with the technologies that we are dealing with.
Thank you, Laurent, for giving time and being part of XROM podcast. Really appreciate that. And yes, I think virtual reality is looking nice. The industry, though, I mean, at this point in time, seems to be on a hold because of COVID-19 national disaster. But I think once this stables down, I think AR, VR, MR will be driving the future conversation for almost all the industries, and right from your healthcare, education, enterprise, and like you rightfully said, I mean, we've been in a nascent stage of this technology. All of those technologies are going to converge. With your haptic feedback, your brain-computer interface, your artificial intelligence converging with virtual reality, and the future looks exciting. And I wish you the very best for the next year of Laval Virtual. And if there's any way where we could collaborate, would be more than happy to kind of join hands, because I believe more than ever, this is the time, I think, which requires for the world to come together and collaborate and push the ecosystem. So thank you, Laurent, for being part of XRM podcast. Really appreciate it. My listeners, if you like what you see, please press the subscribe button. Until next time, see you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.